Hi everyone, welcome to our PSAT Mathematics Prep Session number 1. What do the math sections of the PSAT measure? Fluency, which is your ability to answer questions correctly in a time setting, your conceptual understanding, and your ability to apply your conceptual understanding to real-world problems and apply it. How long is the math section? Well, there's 2 sections. The PSAT math section has a 25-minute no calculator section and a 45-minute calculator optional section. These sections include a total of 48 questions between the two. There will be 40 multiple choice questions, and there will be 8 student-produced response or grid-in questions. The school will provide you a calculator, so you do not have to worry about bringing anything from home. Some things to know for the math section. The math section looks at 3 areas of math. The largest part, about 55% of the 2 sections, will be heart of algebra questions. This will focus on the mastery of linear equations and systems. There will be another area that will look at problem solving and data analysis questions. This looks at how quantitatively literate you are. The last section and the smallest subset is called Passport to Advanced Mathematics. These questions require you to manipulate some complex equations. Important to know that even though that says complex equations and advanced mathematics, the entire test can be completed with just knowledge of Algebra 1 and geometry. So I want to share a strategy with you. And the first strategy is substitution, okay? Basically, plug it in when you can. The very first thing you need to be able to do is read and annotate the question. Ask yourself, does the problem give the equation and one or more values for the variables? If the answer is yes, then you are going to substitute the given values from the problem into the equation. Simply replace them. Go ahead and evaluate and solve it, and then reread the question to make sure that your final answer aligns. If the problem does not give you an equation or one or more values for the variables, take a look at each of your multiple choice answers and substitute those back into the problem. When you're done, evaluate the equation and reread to make sure that your final answer aligns. So let's take a look at an example. This problem was pulled from a previously released test where a no calculator was allowed. So if x minus 1 divided by 2 equals j and j equals 4, what is the value of x? Well, this is a situation where we would say, does the problem give the equation one or more values for the variables? Yes, so we are going to substitute those in. So anywhere we see j in the problem, we are going to substitute it with the value of 4. So that's going to equal 4. X minus 1 divided by 2 equals 4. Now we're going to solve for just the variable x. We are going to undo division with multiplication. And remember, what you do to one side of the equation, you're going to do to the other side. So we're going to have x minus 1 equals 8. To get x by itself, the inverse of subtracting 1 is adding 1. So 8 minus 1 is 9. If you do not feel comfortable solving that equation, you can always go ahead and look at your answer choices and sub each one of those in to see if one side will equal the other. So in this case, the correct answer is D. All right, this next one has quite a few fractions, but what's even more important is that there is the variable s on both sides of the equation. So in this case, what we would want to do, that may be our best option, is to go ahead and substitute 3/4 in. 3/4 is our first option. And if we substitute that in on both sides of the equation for s, because they are the same value, you are going to very quickly notice after you multiply your fractions that you have unlike denominators. You need to make sure when you are adding and subtracting fractions that the denominators are the same. So figure out your common denominator which in this case is 20, and go ahead and evaluate. You will notice that one side of the equation does not equal the other. So A is out. Now, when we take a look at B and we substitute in the answer 25 over 12, not just once, again, but twice, where both S's are in the equation, and you multiply your fractions, determine your common denominators, and evaluate, we got lucky because we noticed that one side of the equation does in fact match the other side, so this value is our answer. We don't even need to go further at this point. Go ahead and pause this video now and give this problem a try. Okay, when you look at which ordered pair, X or Y, satisfies the system of equations above, a system meaning 2, we know that the X value is the first value listed in the ordered pair, and the Y value is the second. So if you use your substitution strategy, you will find that answer A is the correct option. All right, go ahead and pause and try this one now. For what value of h is 24 equals h divided by 10 minus 6? You have 4 answer choices, so go ahead and substitute one at a time into the equation to see if one side equals the other. All right, you should find 300 is the correct answer because 300 divided by 10 is 30, and 30 minus 6 is in fact 24. All right, let's take a look at this one. If x is not equal to 0, what is the value of 4 times 3x all raised to the power of 2 divided by 2x raised to the power of 2? Go ahead and look at your 4 answer choices and take one at a time, subbing each one in for x. You should have found the answer to be 9. Go ahead and work through your practice book now and practice applying the substitution strategy to some of the problems. Good luck.